What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Got some good news. I had an opportunity to sit down with Snappic, both their technical support team and their management team. And me, well, I had a ton of questions, and those questions were beautifully answered by the team. So I want to share those questions I went over with you guys on this video. A couple of cool things before I jump off into the video, guys, is that they are giving us a 10% off on our monthly subscription. The link is in the description box below. Another really cool thing, guys, is they are offering a 7-day free trial so that you can explore their entire app. Let's go ahead and dive into the video so you guys can see that I am mighty inquisitive when it comes to certain things. That's true, guys. You know, just like you, I have a ton of questions, but who can I reach out to? Well, let me reach out to the specialist. Enjoy the video.
Yeah, how you doing?
Very, very good, guys. So, Damir and Nick, thank you so much for making the time to meet with me here today.
And thank you as well. I believe you're back on your Snappic journey. It seems both of us have spoken to you before, so that's quite awesome. Of course, we will dive right into, everything that you would like to with regards to Snappic. Do you have any questions that you would like to begin with?
Yeah, first I want to say, when I first started with Snappic a few months back, it did seem intimidated just because there's so many features and settings and just overall control for the user end. And so I held off on it. But with time, became more curious just because I think that Snappic has a lot of tools, and because it has a lot of tools, it could feel like it's overwhelming to dive into it.
Recording in progress.
Let me go ahead and see. Got it right here. So I was successfully able to use Snappic for a couple of past events. I loved it, but now that I have somewhat of an understanding, there are some questions that I do have for you guys.
All right,
gentlemen. So let me go ahead and log in. Make this a little larger. So I'm going to go ahead and create an event. And there are a few locations here within the process that I have questions about. And I hope that maybe you guys can answer these questions on the spot. So one thing is, if someone's interested to jump into Snappic and they come across this part here, this says photo booth licenses. Now, as a business, some of these individuals probably have a 360 booth or maybe an existing traditional digital booth. Now, with the photo booth license, does this mean that they need to buy this license in order to use both hardwares, or what does this exactly mean?
Alrighty, sure. So a very common query I would say that we get from a lot of our clients, it possibly is quite confusing. But when it does come to the photo booth license, no matter what package you take, you do get one photo booth license by default. The current number that you see says 0, so that means additional. So I guess it probably would be better said to say additional photo booth licenses. But when you get to this page, the only thing you will be adding is additional. So if it's a pro package, of course, it doesn't come with a sharing station, so you will be adding one. But if you are on the enterprise package, you do get one device license default and one sharing station license default. So anything you add on this end will be additional to what you're actually purchasing.
Okay, Nick, so just for clarification here, one photo booth license with the enterprise package will allow me to go to, let's say, use this license for multiple events simultaneously, or how does that work?
No, 100%. Great question as well. So one device means you can use it on an unlimited amount of events. So for example, if you have an enterprise monthly package, you can use that one license on an event every hour after the hour.
Okay.
But as soon as you have two simultaneous events, you will then need to purchase an additional device license. And for example, as you see on the screen, you have added one for $49. That is a single event add-on price. So as you've mentioned, simultaneous will require you to have an additional device license. Basically, you have one per device.
Okay, so quick scenario, I get to a location, I have an event, the client booked both the 360 booth and a digital booth. With that being said, am I going to need that additional license for one of the booths? So I need a total of 2 for that one event?
So when you refer to digital booth, do you mean the regular one that's standing? All right, so if you are still doing that, it's still 2 separate devices, 2 separate iPads. One could be an iPad, one could be an iPhone. And basically, because these are 2 separate devices, you will need that additional license. So as you can see, you are on this event. You would have this add-on for $49, and that will then allow you to use the second device, whether it is an iPhone or the iPad or the same event or a different event, but happening at the same time, whenever it's simultaneous and an additional device is added, you need to add another one. So let's say you had these two devices going on and you had a roamer as well. That means now you have a third license. So when you make your purchase, you get one license by default. So this means now you need two more. So you will add on two extra licenses so that you can therefore run three devices at your event or three devices at the same time.
All right. So from what I understand is if
I just want to have an add-on on that.
Absolutely.
Even you will need an additional device license even if you run two separate events. So one event will use your account license, and then the second event will use the additional license. So in order to run Snappic, you would need to have a license per device that is running.
Per device. So if I have, for example, let's say, like we mentioned earlier, an iPhone and an iPad, and they're both under the same subscription with the iCloud account, I will still need two licenses on those two separate devices.
As you are running two devices, one will be because you are on an enterprise subscription, you already have one license.
Okay.
Then you would just get an additional one.
The secondary one. If I'm shooting the event, the same exact event that I generated with both the iPad and the iPhone, would that still require a secondary license even though it's the same event? Not event as in
Yes,
the
it will.
location, but event as in generated in the dashboard.
Yes, you will.
I would. Okay.
100%.
I am glad I asked that question and you guys answered that beautifully. Now it's a lot more clear. So the enterprise already comes with one photo booth license and anything else.
And one share station.
And one share station. Now the share station, the next location right here, this is what you guys mean by the enterprise comes with a photo booth license and a share station license right here, right?
That is correct.
Okay. One thing I didn't use during my event, guys, is a sharing station for my event. Do you guys have videos out right now walking us through the process of setting up the sharing station? I didn't find one.
As easy as just pressing the share station button on the booth.
That easy. So okay. So if
That
I
easy.
have my iPad on a tripod and my phone on the actual 360 booth, I'll simply open up the Snappic application on my iPad sharing station, and then there's a section there where I'll just go to sharing station and it'll sync up with the current event that
So
I'm.
what makes it quite easy is you'll see on the iPad right next to the option to start your photo booth is the share station. So they are right next to each other. It is quite easy to find.
Okay. I
what I
think
can
I
do-
see it. It's right next to start booth on the section on the left side of it. It says start sharing station.
100%.
All right. Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Very, very nice. All right, guys, let's go ahead and just cover this really
You
quick.
would just want to add on that for the share station, you would need internet connection as well.
Okay. Mobile hotspot should be fine.
Yes.
Okay.
I would recommend personally minimum 20 megabytes per second upload download.
20 megabytes per second. Okay, that's great information. For the white label, this is more, for example, a business is expanding, but they're limited as far as manpower goes, so they start white labeling some of their events. What does this mean, the $19.99? How can I work this into my business if I decided to scale in the future?
All right, white label, quite a beautiful option. I mean, of course, you do not want your clients to see that it is coming from Snappic or whichever URL that you are using with regards to your booth. So, of course, white labeling is masking. As you can see, it says it's for the emails and for URLs. So email links will have your custom domain or it will have our generic booth pick option. So in some cases, you have clients that, of course, are starting off. They do not have a website, and therefore we do have the option to use our generic link, which is my booth pick. However, if you do have your own domain and you would like to set that up, it's quite an easy setup. It probably seems daunting at first, but it's just a few DNS records that are added, and you will be able to make that look as if it is your photo booth link. So the emails will look as if it's coming from you. The microsite and galleries will, of course, have these links, so nobody knows it's Snappic. Essentially, you want to hide the fact that you've got this great application behind you. But also to add to that, we do, of course, have text messages where you do share. But with regards to our text messaging, once you white label that, it will only ever use our generic booth pick URL.
Okay.
Just to note at the end.
All right. Sweet. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and move on to the next section. I'm going to simplify things by just selecting video effect here, and I'm going to go to next. And then here, this is pretty easy. So I'm just going to write test and select my date here. And then go ahead and go to the next section here. All right. This is a fun part right here. So for me, what works well is a QR sharing for Android users, right? AirDrop is a must-have. In fact, it works beautifully when it comes to just sending those videos instantly right after they finish rendering. Email is optional, just depending on the type of event. If it's like a corporate event, email is probably going to be utilized a lot more. And then there's other cool stuff like Scratch and Spin, right? I don't want to dive into that right now because I want to keep this video as short as possible and text messaging. Now the microsite right here, gentlemen.
All right.
Yes, that's
So
that is a mini gallery for your event.
Gallery for my event.
Customizable. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and go to next here. Let me go ahead and set up this, just make it default here. Go to next. Now for the email settings, right? It's going to prompt me to select a template from the library. So for example,
which is,
go ahead.
sorry.
Yeah, so we're at the event. They want to use the email tab, so they select the email tab, and this is basically how the template's going to look on their end. Am I correct?
That is correct.
And then if I go to edit template, then this is where I would put in all of my information, my business information. Okay, sweet. Let's go to next. I was telling Nick through email that there was one section I really wanted to cover because I wasn't quite clear. The app experience, can you guys tell me a little bit about this section? I haven't really messed with it. I go right past it when I make my events. So is there something that you guys would really want to share for this section of the setting up the event?
Well, I mean, this is basically one of your main selling points when it comes to your booth. Before anybody notices your booth, I mean, two things are going to stand out. It's going to be your ring lights and your screen, more than likely. Of course, if you're doing 360, it's a little bit of a different scenario. However, when you approach a booth, you're going to have your main page, which we call an attract screen. And on this attract screen, you can, of course, have great graphics. If you can just click on the attract screen library, you will see that we have quite a few options for you to select from. We do have quite a few themed options as well. You can upload your own. You can have a still or animated attract screen as well. I mean, this is really, it does what it says. It's an attract screen. It attracts the clients to the booth. It can really be a selling point, especially if you are doing some branding activations. You know, some clients have it in retail, you have it in shops and stores, maybe big names like Macy's, and perhaps they have their own graphics and CI images that they need to stick to. And this is great, a great part of a booth where you can build on that experience, which is what the app entails, giving them that in-depth experience, trying to make it fun. It can go according to a theme. It can be black and white, black tie. It can be something funky, maybe a scary attract screen for Halloween, perhaps a pumpkin face. So really a great way to try and pull that attention when you have the clients. And also a great option that does come with this is the custom buttons. So these can be still or they can be animated using the APNG format. Really a great way to pull them in. I mean, we can probably send you some samples as well, where you can just imagine what you can do with these. I saw somebody, for example, that was having a soccer theme party, and they had different parts of the pitch or different elements of soccer within their theme. So the buttons was a soccer ball, a light pole, maybe 3 light poles, for example, to represent the gift. So really a way to just pull in, your audience, besides, of course, having, nice ring lights and the backdrops and everything like that.
Okay, so really quick here, thank you, Nick. For the upload animated attract screen, what that is technically is kind of like the standby screen that people will see.
Technically, yes, that is what you would say, because after the session ends, you can have our auto timeout. The timeout session option, of course, allows it to go back to the screen after a certain amount of time, which we probably will get into. Okay. And of course, while the booth is sitting there waiting, what better way than to get more, attraction from the crowd than having that wallpaper or perhaps that animated screen, just pulling the audience again. So each time, as you said, it's like a standby.
What would be the
If you
difference?
click on the attracts,
Go ahead.
so if you also just want to suggest, click on the attract screen library and just select one of the attract screens. Yeah, and select any of them.
Okay.
And you will see how your iPad would look like, or iPhone.
Nice, Damir. Very, very
Much
cool.
better.
I'm glad you told me to go ahead and click on that so I can really get a visual and everyone else too
Yeah,
can as well. Now, what would be the difference between the animated attract screen versus the upload master overlay?
Okay, I can go with that. So essentially,
Okay.
track screen is basically what you are seeing right now. However, you might want to add some additional branding perhaps, and you could have, similar to a standard photo template overlay, you can have a master overlay on the screen. So if you have a look at your screen right now, it says pick your experience.
Yes.
And of course, if you have set it up correctly, we do provide some sizing for you. Then you could have, let's say, the logo of Coca-Cola on the bottom, perhaps just above the buttons, or perhaps on the left or right hand side, or perhaps like a watermark in the corner as well. So those are just examples of what you could do with your master overlay that would go on top of your track screen. So you can change out your track screen and of course keep that master overlay for perhaps, branding purposes.
Okay, so for the
Yeah,
master
it-
overlay, one thing that I would require would be the dimensions, right? Is there like a default as far as the dimension goes for a standard size template when we're uploading this onto our devices, whether it's an iPhone or an iPad?
It's a bit complicated answer on that because when we try and design something, everything is square.
Yeah.
So it tries to fit iPad both horizontally and vertically. So when you use an upload master overlay, you're also designing it to be a square. And then later on, in the same time, you would design it either for a square installation or a portrait installation. So you would need to know exactly where to design it, as it would put it on the screen like that. It
Right.
would follow the resolution of the video.
That's interesting. Okay, yeah, I can understand why that would be complex because different size, different
Yeah.
sizes versus like when you go into the next process and it says, hey, you want to do a landscape, portrait, or okay. All right, guys.
Yeah, so let's say you choose an attract screen library, you didn't get one made custom for the event,
Okay.
but they say, hey, we want a logo on the screen. You can just upload the master overlay with their logo and slap it on top. Fair.
Slap it on top, and then if I do that, Damir, if I do, for example, select maybe I can. Is there?
The sizing is there when you click upload. Like one of the tabs says the recommended sizes. But if you have a PNG image, you can upload it. But it needs to be designed in a square that would fit there.
Okay. All right. So
you would need to custom design it to be on the corner.
to be in the corner, like on the left side, for example, right here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's gonna take some practice, so we'll leave that for some other time. But yeah, I like the upload animated, like you said, a track screen because it gives you the opportunity to really get that exposure, share the brand or the idea, the concept, whatever you're trying to execute, whatever trying to accomplish for that specific event. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit next here and move on to the next thing. Thank you for that information, gentlemen. The sharing station
no problem.
is basically the same thing, right? So if it's a birthday party, we can do an upload animated from the library, or we can go ahead and upload our very own template for the attract screen, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So you went next. For example, though we went next in the photo booth section, it says hide exit button, title banner, and retake. Yes.
Okay.
So if you hide the exit button, then the way to exit the event would be to tap 3 times on the top left corner.
You know, that's actually something that I almost forgot, and I'm glad you brought that up. Really quick, guys. I leave my booth, I walk away, it's unattended. Is there a way that I can have my iPad locked into the event so that no one goes into the iPad and does any other funny things? Meaning, there's a lock. Is that the administrator lock so that they can't leave that event or change anything on the iPad?
But yes, but then you would use Apple's feature to do a lock-in on the app, which is very easy for the iPhone. If you enable it, you would just triple tap the volume button and it would lock you into guided access.
Okay, so do both. Okay, do the one that's through Snappic directly, and also go ahead and make that
Correct.
settings in the actual settings of the iPhone or iPad, right?
Correct.
cool. So during this past weekend, I did the microsite, and then there was an Android user, and so he came up to me and said, "Hey, my video says it hasn't been uploaded yet." So he got this like a landing page where it said NYC, and I was thinking that first of all, it doesn't look well because we're in Los Angeles, and my answer to him was that the video hadn't uploaded to the server, which is why he wasn't able to view it as an Android user. Was my reply accurate, or was I completely wrong?
No, you were accurate because this would be depending on the upload speed of the photo booth that was recording. So as a QR code, as you scan, it just takes a couple of seconds to get to the page.
Okay.
But then you have a video which is about 15 seconds. So it takes about a minute or so to upload. So by the time he sees his phone, he's like, hey, it's not there yet.
Right. So in a situation
refresh.
where it's taking a lot longer than that, right? What do you guys recommend as far as troubleshooting? I mean, last resort, I did tell them that the person who booked the event was going to have access to the entire gallery within 24 hours. I was going to provide a link where they can access all those videos. Now, for the Android users who that really want to leave the party with that video, but for some reason it's taking longer, maybe even an hour, is there anything I can do on my end to troubleshoot?
Yeah, if you go on your Snappic app, go to Manage Queue, and you will see if you have any pending images. There. Like, I'm not sure if it's gonna show. You can.
Okay, go to
I need to
manage
kill the
queue.
blurry.
Yeah. No, I get it. So, well, my phone's way up here, but the
Okay.
the manage queue section.
Yeah, that's the one. And it says there uploaded and failed and remaining. So if you have something in remaining and failed,
Okay.
if you click on tap to manage queue,
Okay.
then click the menu button, and then you would just click stop and give it a second, and then click start. This will restart the queue.
That I didn't know. So I'm glad I know that, and thank you so much. Okay, great. So that's one thing that I can do to do some troubleshooting on my end while on the spot. Okay, guys, thank you. So for the microsite template library, I did select this one here, gentlemen. Is there a way that I can? Oh, actually, there is a way. I can actually come in here and edit this with my information. Really? Oh my goodness.
Correct.
Okay, that's just,
Yes, that is correct.
all right. Someone was in a rush. So that's
That's the same thing that I wanted to say about when we were on the email template. Like, it's completely the same type of editing. You would click anything in the green dotted lines and you would just replace it. And then if you click on NYC, on the top bottom left, you would click select image and you can add your image.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, I can't wait to get to this location here and customize it for my next event. But we're not going to do that right now, gentlemen. We're going to continue moving forward. So, yeah, this is definitely one area I thought, how complex is this to really customize? But now that I'm really here, sitting here with you guys, I realize that there's sections on here where I can change it here on the left side. And then there's sections where I can upload my own photo and information right in here, right? That's awesome.
100%.
This is just a demo photo that's in the middle with the people, but
Yeah.
it would be a personal video that your guest would download. But yeah.
Okay. All right. And meta title. Okay. So we'll go ahead and move forward with that. And this is very, very basic. They're just going to scan the QR code, right? This is yeah, very, very simple. And then, of course, this gives you different style, how it's going to appear, but this is no big deal. Let's go ahead and just push through here. There's one thing here I was thinking about for the 360 booth operators. So for example, something like this, right? The character reveal where it says Veronique, portrait, frame rate, 60 frames per second, 30 frames per second. And when I get to this part right over here, to the recording, this is simple. I understand this. This is almost like almost every single app, which is very, very easy to understand. When I go over the timeline where I have more control over the actual effect, is there a way I can change so it won't say the lady's name, but it'll say the actual person's name?
Yeah, you will be able to do that. Very simple. You would need to design your own animated overlays.
Animated overlay.
And then if you click on freeze frame,
Say that again for me.
on the timeline, click on the freeze frame part. Yes, the second one is a freeze frame.
Freeze frame. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So now under the effects part,
All right, here.
Yeah, click edit, yeah.
All righty.
And then you have the number 2, which is the second layer. So I can see that you know how to edit videos. So it's very simple to understand for video editors. So you have blur layer first because it's transparent in the back. Then you have the overlay, which is the background behind the person. Then when you go into, are you using a Mac or Windows?
Right now I'm using a Mac.
Okay, so if you use a Mac, you'll need to use Safari in order to preview the MP4 transparent files.
Okay.
Because they're just Apple. It's an Apple thing.
Okay.
And then if you go into recording overlay.
Recording overlay right here.
Yeah, you have in under effects on the right side. You are using AI segmentation, right? This is just so that we can create that transparent effect like green screen, like a cutout.
Okay.
And then under AI segmentation, if you go deeper, another layer, like on the pen, yeah. And then you have before and after masking. So the before part is using the background effect to create transparency, right?
Okay.
And then after masking, where your mouse is.
Okay. So after masking, all right.
Yes, you have the AI alpha stroke, which is that white line around the person, right?
Okay.
Okay, so that's all created already. You can say save for that one.
Save, all right.
And then the overlay is where the Veronique name pops up. So if you click the last layer, which is the layer that's going to come on top of you, if you click on it, there's nothing there. On the layer, on the overlay number 4, on your left side,
right over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the Veronique name. But if you click play, I don't think you'll see it. But if you click the 3 dots, you will be able to download it.
3 dots, okay.
And then you'll be able to preview it on your Mac.
So something like this.
Because Mac will play the file.
Something like this is a lot more advanced, but also really valuable if we offer it to our clients. Within YouTube platform, do you guys have the steps on how to achieve this, or at least get an idea of how to do it?
Yes, the exact steps that you're doing now, they're on YouTube as well. And the tutorial also show how to create the exact, all the layers for it using Canary.
Definitely looking forward to that. Okay, thank you guys, appreciate it. So
yeah, no worries.
Save. Yeah, because I thought, wow, what an amazing effect. I would say a high quality premium effect, but then I was wondering, but I don't have too many clients with the same name, so it's like, how will I dedicate that to that to that booking, to that event, right? Okay, so that's going to be available.
There is a feature request that at this point we're only looking into.
Okay.
When you do surveys for an event, the name that you would put would actually be one of the effects you can add that person's name. So it's simpler to do the effect.
Okay, is this something that you said are working on, or is that available now?
Thinking. No.
Okay, because I was going to say that sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so good. Let me go ahead and cancel out of here. So I'll just go ahead and choose one and then move forward. Because everything else is very, very
Before
good.
you leave, I was watching your last video that you made, and I just want to show you one small tip under the timeline.
Please do. Yes, please do. So let me go to timeline.
Yeah, that's something that everybody should know. So for example, you have app recorded 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
So let's say 1 is starting from 0 going to 2.
Okay.
Once you click on the app recording 2,
okay,
it starts from 1.3 and it ends on 2, which means that it's going to be fairly of a glitch effect. So looking at you, for example, moving the second part to extend one of your videos, right? But then you need to go to the next app recorded video in order to match the beginning of it, so that you don't get like a glitch effect where it's going to like skip frame.
Oh, so what you're saying is, say for example, section 2, it's 1.3 and then 2 seconds. So if I move this up, let's say to an even number here, 3 seconds, right? Like this.
Yeah.
Once I go to the third section, what you're saying is I should start this off at 3.
But you also need to see for this one, because the app recording 2 is a reverse video.
So I have to really find the sweet spot. But
So
be
you don't need
mindful.
to look for it. You go to the app recorded video 2. I'll
Show me?
show you quickly.
Yes.
So go app recorded video number 2.
Number 2.
Click on it.
All right.
And now we can see that it's on 1.3 seconds. So this is where it's going to start. Your next video, because it's a reverse video, needs to start from 1.3 and then go forward.
From 1.3. So it would be
That one, the number 3. So it's 2 and then 3. That one needs to start from 1.3.
just like right here, right?
Yes, and then the number 4 would need to start from second number 4 in that order.
Just like it is right now.
Correct.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Well, that's good
That's
to
the
know. I'm
only
glad you
one
guys
small
watched
thing
the
that I-
video.
that I- Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
I'm glad you caught that. Thank you so much for informing me about this, because for me especially, is I only have so much resources as far as who I can learn from or whose mistakes I can learn from, and I'm really trying to experiment as much as possible so that I can provide other folks with some of the cool, unique solutions that I found out, so that they don't have to go through the learning process, because learning process is expensive, man. It takes a lot of time.
Takes a lot of time. You're right about that.
All right, so let's go ahead and go.
So and also one more thing I want to add on while you're on the timeline.
Yeah.
Every single video that is in the library or every custom video that you create can be edited, which means every time you're in the timeline, if you want to change something, it's possible. If you want to remove the effect and add a custom effect, so we'll go quickly and click X on the effect that's already added there.
Right. And then go back
And
in
then
here.
in the library, you have like ready-made effects. And then if you click cancel and go into create your own effect, there's more effects there.
Okay.
So in build custom effect,
All right.
and then add effect,
Okay.
and then you'll have a whole library there that you can create by yourself as well.
Oh, okay. So this would be good for like the template where it's speed ramping plus effect. I can go and change the default effect and add my own effects to it.
Correct.
Okay. That's one thing I really enjoy about Snappic is the customization part. That for me is amazing. Other applications are not there yet, but you guys are already there with the video effects builder. So that's one thing for me right now with my business, as far as how long I've been in the game. It really helps me when I have these type of tools available to me. So I really had to sit down and make time to get some of the foundation down. So now that I have you guys here with me breaking this down, I'm going to be moving forward with a lot more confidence. So I really want to thank you guys for going over this section with me here.
Yeah, no worries. I'm doing masterclasses, and they will also be released hopefully in the next month or so.
Okay.
And I also do one masterclass per month that you can always join in.
One masterclass per month. Okay. So just going to go here just so that I can move forward with this event, guys. Give me a few seconds.
Yeah, no problem.
Here. And purchase.
And then because you added a license,
Yeah.
if you're using an additional license, you can pay now, or you can even click pay later, and then when ready, you can pay for it as well.
Okay. Great. Pay later.
Nicholas, one last thing I want to
Please.
show him would be the slideshow.
Okay, 2.0.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. We can definitely go over that as well.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right, David, if you scroll down under the microsite, you'll see slideshow 2.0.
Micro.
Go down more. Yeah, there's
There it
sharing,
is.
microsites. There it is.
Okay.
So go down. It's 3 tabs down. So not the slideshow that says under microsite, that would be the old one, but you have that one, 2.0. You skipped it?
A little bit up.
Am I missing something?
Scroll up a little bit, sorry. Yeah. Stop, there it is.
This right here, 2.0. Okay.
Yes, so if you click login, and then use your Snappic login details to log in,
Okay.
and then select an event. So this is your slideshow settings. On the left side, you can just generic settings, how the images are going to show or videos. Then you have the display grid size. This is also just like a normal part where you would just make it either one single video or like 3x3 grid.
Okay.
And then you have slideshow header, which is usually your logo, and slideshow background. And then the important part is the advert settings, which is like really, you can really utilize this for sales. You can put your ads, you can put the QR codes to the events to pop up when you need them. You can do a full screen advertising. You can do video advertising as well. So yeah.
Advert settings. Is this something that you guys have a video already made for? Going over this, kind of highlighting this new 2.0 that Snappic has.
If you go to the Snappic support chat, we can send you an article, but you can also find the article under the resources tab, Help Center.
Okay, so there's an article available. All right. Yeah, man, it's just so much information to take and digest and then apply. So yeah, I think little by little, I'll be able to share some of this stuff when I'm confident and I can actually show it to people in a way that it's easy to understand. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I just done a masterclass on full creation for an enterprise event. So that I just need to edit a little bit, and then that's going to be released quite soon.
So Damir, when you take out these master classes that you said that are also available once a month, they are hosted by you and Nick?
Oh, masterclasses are by me.
By you, okay. And then for people that are
more on the technical side.
Yeah, and so for the techie people that for the people that have businesses that can really benefit off the Snappic app, how do they go about signing up to get emails and alerts when these master classes come out?
Once you are on the Snappic, it's gonna pop up as a banner on your Snappic account.
Okay.
Okay. But the great thing is we do also have Facebook as well. So most of the time we're always posting it on our Facebook page as well as our user group. It's the Snappic user group. If you do ever have to search for it, I'm sure you're all within it by now. But the user group, really awesome. We do have notifications. We push out posts from that side. And we, of course, do have our standard Facebook Snappic page whereby you can get notices on updates. We give out some helpful tips as well. New features might be coming along, and we also give you updates on that. So definitely good, to sign up with Snappic. Keep informed on all these platforms as well. And if you are also a new boother starting out, we do provide a beautiful 7-day trial on enterprise package, which could help, learn the application, because we understand that it does take time. And that's the beauty of Snappic. That's why we have 24/7 support. Because if you are feeling uncomfortable with a feature, you have the support that can guide you along. So on Monday, you might be doing printing. On Tuesday, it's overlays. On Thursday, you might be doing video effects and you have an issue with your overlay. You can always jump on the chat, speak to us, and we will be able to help you probably within a few seconds. Of course, it will take some time to look at your event and, derive what is the actual issue, but that's the beauty, again, of 24/7 support. You might be at an event. We know that you are panicked. We understand how it is on the front line. And of course, that just makes it so much better to have us as, that backup plan, just in case it feels like all hell is going to break loose. And then, of course, we are there to soften the fall always.
Yeah, that's great. So yeah, 24/7 customer support, technical support being right there, ready to help you out, I think is definitely a must-have. And I'm happy that you guys have the team to really execute in that area, because in the very beginning, we are all a little lost. So that's great. And also, guys, if you're watching this, Nick just shared that there is a demo version and it's a 7-day trial. This 7-day trial, Nick, is it really limited as far as what they can do because it's a demo? Or is it almost like a full-blown experience where they can navigate through the entire...
It is full-blown, 100% enterprise package. All the features that we mentioned on the enterprise package are available to you. You will have that one device license and a share station as well. White label is not included at the moment with that trial. However, you could discuss this with us. And we will, of course, take it case by case. However, we do offer that 7-day trial, really get to know the application. And even if you're not on the 7-day trial, I think you might have noticed at the end of that session, you had the option that said purchase now or pay later. Generally, if of course you would like to test, set up that pay later option. You can just start up the events on your iPad and you should be able to test until your heart is content. So this is even after you are done with that trial as well.
Very cool, guys. So as you can see on my laptop here, I'm running out of battery, but I think it's a perfect time to say goodbye, a temporary goodbye. I really want to thank you both for taking the time to meet with me here today on Snappic's platform. I learned a lot, and I'm going to continue learning with the help of your team that's available 24/7. Before I let you gentlemen go, is there anything else you guys would like to share with the audience?
The more sharing options would be also very beneficial to the events. So it's either you can do it now quickly, depending on how much time you have, but there's a contactless sharing, which is your guest comes to an event, scans the QR code, selects their template, goes and just scans on your phone, and it just starts recording, shares it automatically. You don't need to do anything. That's one way.
Okay.
And then the second way is AI sharing, where the guest will also come at an event, or after the event, they can scan the QR code or go to the page. They would scan their face, and then all the sessions from that event would match to their personal gallery there.
Modern day technology at its best. How to streamline
Yeah,
everything.
we're testing.
That's amazing. And I think Snappic is what I'm noticing from you guys is that you guys are in an innovative mode. Where you guys are really trying to implement technology and data as much as possible. And that's one thing that captured my attention. So thank you so much, guys, again. I will be talking to you guys soon. Nick, Damir, thank you so much for your time, guys. Enjoy the rest of the year, and we'll stay in touch.
Great.
No,
Nice seeing you again.
Great chatting with you. And I hope we do have episode 2 of this as well. So
I think it's
whenever
going to be
you're ready
called
to
for.
do episode
Yep,
2.
most definitely. Let's go ahead and hear what the audience has to say. Let's get some feedback, and then let's meet again and tackle some of these questions together.
100%. That's a great plan.
All right, guys.
Awesome.
Take care.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.